What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're finally back. We took a short vacation to recharge our batteries, but now we're ready to get back on the grind. So let me catch you up with what's going on with Black Sheep. Now, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen me post up a picture of this piece. Posted up as kind of a trivia question. And I was taking Black Sheep on a short drive the other day, or a couple weeks ago. I just happened to glance underneath the truck and saw something shiny laying under it. And instantly I knew exactly what it was. I was hoping that it wasn't, but my gut feeling told me that that sure does look like a piece of a ear off of a flex plate for a small block Mopar. And unfortunately, I was correct. So, needless to say, I got an extra flex plate laying here, luckily. But needless to say, the motor's got to come out now. So, y'all know we've been fighting issues with this thing pushing coolant into the overflow tank, and it doesn't make any heat at all. So it's kind of confusing. It's like the heat hand doesn't move on the gauge at all, but if you go down the road and run it hard, it'll push coolant out in the overflow tank. And I've replaced the thermostat twice. I've got 2 or 3 holes drilled in the thermostat that's currently in it. So I know if it's an air pocket in there, I mean, I've bled this thing probably 10 times. I've shortened that radiator hose up. That top radiator hose as short as I can get it. I mean, I've let this thing run in the driveway probably 45 minutes and it still doesn't overheat. So what we're gonna do today is, I bought a little test kit from Harbor Freight, and we're gonna test it to see if we have any combustion gases in the cooling system. It's a cheap $30 kit. You can pick it up at Harbor Freight. I saw this little gadget on one episode of Roadkill, so I figured I'd give it a try. That way, when we pull the engine out of this thing, we know if we're looking at a head gasket issue, we'll go ahead and fix that while it's out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and replace the intake gaskets on it. Pretty sure the China rail's leaking on the back. Dribbling a little oil down on the driveway. So while that's out, I'm gonna go ahead and fix that and give us a good chance to check out our cam and lifter situation, make sure everything's going on there. I don't suspect there'll be an issue there, but we'll go ahead and examine that while we got it out. And that way, if we need to put head gaskets on it, we'll go ahead and tackle that while it's out. So let me set this tool up, and I gotta warm the truck up. It's gotta be up to operating temperature. So let me warm this thing up a little bit, and then I'll come back to you. From what I can tell by the minimal instructions that they give you, is you don't want this test fluid to come in contact with antifreeze, because if it does, it'll give you a faulty reading. And of course, the test fluid is sold separately. The actual test kit itself is like 30 bucks. The fluid's like 10, but this gives you plenty of fluid to do several different tests, because you only fill it up to that line, so you don't use very much at all. From what the instructions say, you fill this up to that line with the fluid, stick this down in the radiator to get a good seal on it, and then you use this little bulb, primer bulb with a check ball on top. I'm guessing that if there's combustion gases in the cooling system, it'll pull them through and turn this fluid like a yellowish gold color. This fluid's supposed to be blue. Looks like it's leaking already. So yeah, let me fill that up and get some heat in this thing, and we'll see what we can't figure out here. The instructions does say to make sure that the coolant level is 2 or 3 inches below the neck of the radiator, so that's something to take note of. Yeah, I got the fluid topped off to the fuel line. Left the chat. So far I haven't seen any change in the fluid color. Sorry if the camera's all shaky, I just got it flopped up on the front fender here. So far the color hasn't changed any. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but you can definitely see air pockets coming out of it. Yeah, I believe that flex plate left the building. Kind of hard to tell. It doesn't look like any change to me. Which is a good sign. That's what I wanted to see. I don't know if the camera's picking this up or not. It looks darker in the bottle. But you can see the top edge of it there has a more accurate color. So with that being said, this video is probably going to be spanned over a couple days. I'm going to have to pull the engine out back here in the backyard. The Fury's still sitting on the carport, so we're going to have to work in the dirt. And my old cherry picker has seen better days, so it's probably going to be a lot of cussing and fussing going on with that thing. And I also have some videos I'm still working on of the Fury. I took the dash bezel out and repainted it and got some gauges for it, so I'm still trying to finish that video up. There's always a bee trying to fly in the truck here. But yeah, so hopefully when y'all see this, it'll all be one video. Some of it'll probably be time-lapsed. I just wanted to jump in here and do this test real quick before we do go to yanking this thing out. Okay, y'all, here we are several days later. If you want to live somewhere where you got unpredictable weather, move to Virginia. 3 days ago it was 85 degrees. Today it's back in the 30s. So you never know what you're going to get when it comes to weather around here. It's rained, it sleeted yesterday. Like I said, 3 days ago we was pushing 90 degrees. So needless to say, the weather has held us up on this issue here. So we've got the truck jacked up. I'm getting ready to drain the coolant out of it. I'm going to start disconnecting the battery, taking a little odd and end stuff loose so we can get ready to pull this motor back out. If you've seen the clip before this or the previous video before this, you might know that we got a broken flex plate issue. So that's the reason the engine's coming back out. While that's draining, I'll go ahead and give y'all a look at what the setup's like here. If you're not familiar with this truck, we got a whole playlist on it. But pretty much it's a simple deal. I mean, 2 belts. You got a alternator belt, and you got a water pump and power steering belt. That's it. Electronics are minimal on it. You got a couple field wires to go to the voltage regulator on the alternator. Voltage regulator on the back firewall there. And you got a few wires to go to the coil and the ignition module. Other than that, the only electronics on this truck are the lights. So it makes it pretty simple. Oh, and I lied, the fan. We got an electric fan on here, but that's just 2 wires on that plug. We pulled them off. So we're letting the coolant drain. We're going to disconnect these little odd and end things. Take the carburetor off, get it put up for safekeeping. Go ahead and tape off that manifold opening and put the engine lip plate on there so nothing falls down in the engine. Let's see, what else could I disconnect while we're waiting on that? Once this gets low enough, we can take the radiator off. The radiator hoses upper and lower. Remove the radiator. Guess I can start tinkering with those header bolts. They shouldn't be that big of an issue. Most of them I can drop them without the truck being even on a jack. Most of them I can drop them with the truck sitting on all 4 tires. Alright, I'm not going to record this whole thing. Y'all seen us take these motors in and out 1,000 times. Just a quick update. Got the radiator hoses out, fan. Lucas is working on disconnecting the alternator wiring. I'm going to drop these headers real quick and then probably stream me underneath there and start taking the torque converter bolts loose. Okay, quick update for y'all. We've got pretty much everything disconnected. Headers off, distributor plug wires off, carburetor off. Only thing we got left to disconnect now is power steering and the motor mounts. We've already got the torque converter bolts out, the bell housing bolts are out. Got the lip plate on there, so we're gonna drain this power steering pump here and bust these motor mounts loose and then hook this cherry picker up. As y'all can see, it don't take much, just a handful of basic tools. It's always handy to have your little workbench out here by where you're working at. Push it back some more. Oh, we might be hitting another box. Let me check it. What's hitting it? This is so cute. Stay on that side of it. Just get lighter, because it's going over that nose. Easy, so everything's getting very cheaply up. That's enough to clear it. You can swing it around it. Yeah. Just stay out from around it. Oh, you got a ways. Probably enough to clear it. It's kind of sketchy, y'all, but that's how you got to do it. And it's the damn cherry pickers mired up in the mud. So it's a whole lot easier to roll that truck than it is to roll that cherry picker with weight on it. But we got it out, so when we get it blocked up here, I'll take you around and show you what we're looking at. Okay, now y'all can see the damage I was talking about. That one ear of the flex plate is totally gone. And it's cracked right there. I think that's the only one that's cracked. It's that bottom one. So I'm gonna clean the tools up for right now. Take a lunch break, and then we're gonna gather up the parts list of what we need. Now we're gonna go ahead and take the intake off and check all that. Replace those gaskets, valve cover gaskets. According to that combustion leak tester thing, it said the head gaskets are fine, so we'll run through and recheck the torque on those while we got the valve covers off. Hopefully everything's good to go there. I'll try to clean this thing up a little bit before we put it back in. Y'all probably see that in the next video, or it might be 2 videos down the road. Depends on how long this whole thing takes here and what kind of weather we get. But appreciate y'all for watching, tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.